Did you hear Strength Depot? And today we're going to be putting together the 3-tier dumbbell rack in my garage. When we finish working out, we actually have dumbbells all over the place and there's no good spot for them. So what we're hoping to do is clean that up. We're going to put the dumbbell rack either on that side, back here, or next to our Stairmaster right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break open all of these packages and see what we have going on. Lay it out nice and neat so we kind of get a game plan on how it goes together. Before we get started putting together our 3-tier dumbbell rack, let's make sure we have the correct tools. At a minimum, you're going to need 4 tools, which is going to be a 3/4 inch wrench, which is also going to be a 19 millimeter in metric, a 15/16 inch wrench, which is going to be 24 millimeter in metric, an adjustable wrench like this that will open up to that 15/16 or 24 millimeters, as well as a large size Phillips head screwdriver. So what I've done here is I've laid out each of the sides, so each of the uprights in the order that they will go in. I've put the bolts out, laid them all out, make sure I have all of the pieces necessary and tools necessary to complete the project. So as you can see here, I have the 2 brackets, the base beam, the upright, the lower angle beam, the middle angle beam, and the upper angle beam, as well as the shelving angle brackets. One thing to note when putting this together is the actual direction of the uprights themselves, because they will only bolt into the lower base beams a specific way. So if you put your bracket, that's why I kind of sat the bracket on top, because you'll see that all of the bolt holes line up together, whereas if you rotate it over onto its side right here and you put the bracket back on, it does not line up. So the bolt holes will always fit in the base beam, but now none of the holes actually fit the upright. So make sure you align that first so you know. You can even put a piece of tape on like the sides or the fronts to designate which is which, because if you bolt the angle beams up first, that might not match correctly, and so you're going to have to rework that and take those apart and then put it back together. So my first plan of attack here is going to be bolting the brackets, that's lower bracket right here, to the base beam just hand tight, not super tight, like a snug hand tight. That way we can just drop the upright in, bolt the upright in, and then tighten everything up nice and tight from there. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead, grab this, sit it wherever you can. We're going to take a bolt with a washer first. I've kind of already put my washers on some of them to get them started. Put that through there, and we're going to go with the other bracket here, just like that. Put another washer on, and then a nut right there, just like that. And then from there, we can just kind of snug it up by hand, like that. So, just so you can see, there it is. Nice and easy. And then we'll repeat this 2 more times. Make sure you have a washer on the bolt before you put it through. Washer, and then a nut. So we're going to go through the next one, and then we'll grab our upright and put it on. Again, on tight. There we go. We got our base beam done with the brackets. Now what we're going to do is make sure that we have this so it can line up right. So that's the reason for the snug, the hand tight, because even at hand tight, it'll kind of not want to go in super great. But so this is what we're looking at. Again, take a bolt and washer, screw through, just like that. Another washer, another bolt, and then repeat 2 more times. Now that I have them all on there, I'm going to give them a nice tight snug up here using the impact and a wrench. So I'll go here, put them on, and it down. So now we got our base beam and upright bracket or upright beam connected from here. What I'll do is I'll start at the bottom, work my way up with our angle beams that make the shelves. So this one starts at the bottom. So I have the bolt with the washer. And then we're gonna get another washer and the nut ready. So just what I'm doing is I'm aligning it to the bottom, but then I'm actually just putting the top in. So from there, hold it, washer, and then nut. There you go. Put that one on there. Same thing with this bottom piece. And then I'm just gonna hand tighten everything again. And then once we get all the beams put up, all the angle beams, then I'll tighten them all up. So now we're on to the middle. There should be 3 holes in between that 3 visible holes that you should be able to see. Just so you know. So again, I'm kind of looking at the bottom one, making sure I have 3 holes, and then from there, putting the top one in. Once you get the top one in, you can just kind of hold it like that. Put our washer and the nut. There we go. It really doesn't take that long to put together, especially when you have an impact drill. If you have a friend with an impact drill, you know, bring the friend over. Hey man, let me borrow that piece. This one just goes at the top here. And then before we tighten everything up, we'll just kind of give it a once over, make sure all our spacing is where it should be. Then we'll tighten it all up. So now I'm just going to tighten these bad boys up and then do the other side. There we go. Quick and easy. Lock them down. There we go. There's one side done. And then what I'll do, put this one together, then we'll do the shelving pieces last. So I'm just going to set this one off to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and do the other side. I'm just going to drag it over to the center a little bit, move all my pieces. Again, but it's literally just the same as we did before, so I'm not going to do much talking during this one. I'm just going to put this thing together at this point. So my plan here is that this will be, let's see if you're facing it, this will be the right one, that will be the left one. So the nuts will all be to the inside and the bolts, the nice clean parts, in my opinion, will be to the outside. It'll be nice and symmetrical. Here we go. We got all the nuts and bolts together here. We're just going to snug it all up real quick. Now that we have the base beam and the upright together, we'll do the same process as last time, starting from the bottom, working our way up, and then we will move on to the actual angle irons for the shelves. Now that we have both of our sides built, we can start putting together the shelves or bolting on shelves. These are pretty heavy. These things are stable. We'll start from the bottom again and work our way up. So we'll just grab one of the beams. One beam should go up, one beam should go down. So I'll try to work from this side so you can see as I build it. So as you can see, if you have both the angle pieces right here, one kind of has it like drilled out, and the other has it drilled out on the opposite side. So just make note of that right there. What's going to happen is the piece that goes up goes on the inside, and the piece that goes down goes on this side like that. So it's kind of the end right there, just like that. That's how that works. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of put one in right here. See if I can get it to go all the way through. And then we're not even going to worry about putting a nut on this. We'll just get the distancing correct. And then we'll put the nut on this one as well. Somewhere around here we'll get her. It's pretty solid. That through there. If you have one of the multiple racks, so these can come in singles, you can do doubles, you can triple. You can literally just keep adding onto this as much as you want. So it's a modular system here. If you just have a single like this, your rack will go on the outsides. So the bolt holes right here will go on the outside. If you have a multiple setup, what's going to happen is your side one is going to go on the outside. And then if there was another rack, an extension right here, then this right here would go on the inside one, so then the next side could go on this side. And so just make sure that if you have a 2 or 3 rack setup, that you're putting these on right so you don't have to come back later. So if it's the end, it goes on the outside. If it's an interior piece, it goes on the inside. Flip this piece upside down. And a single, so it's on the outside and outside. There we go. So we got that one. What we'll do again, it's just 4 washers, 4 nuts. I have a nut over here. And then what we'll go through is put all the washers and nuts. Again, we're just going to hand tighten it. Nothing crazy here until we get everything on. Then we'll come back, snug it all up. So washer and nut goes up underneath. There we go. Hand tight. Oh, what? Does that fit right there? Down. Down. Go. Hand tight. There we go. Now that we have those on, just so you can kind of see, let me grab a dumbbell from our sea of pink dumbbells we have over here. So when you sit it on, it just kind of hooks onto that top one. So then you don't have to worry about trying to get your hand through 2 pieces of angle iron right here and kind of smash it one or the other. All you have to do is make sure it's just not against the top piece of your dumbbell, and it just sits right in there nice and clean. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the other 2 real quick, and then once I'm finished with that, we will tighten everything up and then get this thing in place. Last one here, and then put all the washers and nuts on, and then we will tighten everything up. Load this thing up for some dumbbells. So nice to have this instead of that every time we work out. With these, I'm actually just going to use a socket instead of my impact. To tighten these up, it shouldn't take long. They're not super long bolts. So we'll just grab our 3/4 inch wrench or socket, as well as a large Phillips head. Make sure you got the righty tighty going on. Put your Phillips head, large Phillips head in there. Give her a tighten. There we go. We're just going to go through here and tighten all these up. And then we are finished. If you don't have a large Phillips head, you can probably just get by with a medium to large size flathead screwdriver, because this pattern is so large. Most people probably aren't going to have a Phillips head that size, but a pretty large flathead or decent sized flathead will fit right in there, and you probably get the same effect from it. Let me see if I can. That's why we have the wrench. The wrench was the necessary one, and the socket was the optional for a reason here. Put this up here for now. There we go. Now we got it all finished. Move it into place. Load it up. And there we have it. We have finished putting together the 3-tier dumbbell rack by NEXO Fitness equipment. This thing is solid. It is an absolute beast. Like I said before, it is made out of the same uprights and base beams that our squat stand, half racks, power racks, all those good products are made out of. You can find this product at strengthdepot.com. If you like this tutorial, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.